Hello and welcome to Soul Steps. I'm David Gallagher. A number of years ago, I got biopsy results in the mail after having had a colonoscopy, and I was quite surprised to find that they had found a precancerous polyp that they had removed. Not long after that, I went in for my first ever mid 50-year-old something dermatology exam. And I was looked over from head to toe, and I had a little pink spot on the back of my leg that had been there for a while. And at first pass, the dermatologist decided not to really take a close look at it or biopsy it. But as we got near the end of the appointment, she decided, yeah, I better be safe than sorry. So she biopsied it, came back, skin cancer. So for the first time in my life, I had the word cancer appear a couple of times in a short span of time. I remember back in the early 1980s, my pastor at the time was diagnosed with leukemia. And that was a shock to everybody in the congregation. And thankfully, he lived another 20 plus years with leukemia. And yet having that disease changed everything about the way he looked at life, the way he handled relationships. It completely changed the way he preached. And it actually had a very positive impact on his life because every day living with that leukemia, he had to stare his mortality in the face. And it changed his outlook in a very good way, as it would all of us if we knew that our days were numbered. How often should we live our lives as if our days are numbered? Because they are. I thought of Paul in his life and in his journey, and how toward the later part of his ministry, he was facing death by persecution and by imprisonment all the time. In his book to the Philippians, in chapter 1, verses 23 to 25, he's facing his first trial, and he's not completely sure that he'll be acquitted, and he thinks that his execution might be possible. But on the balance, he thinks there's a chance he'll be acquitted, and so he's saying to the Philippians, you know, it's better for me to depart and be with Christ. That's far better for me, but it's better for you that I live, and that I carry on and pour into you ministry and understanding of God and Jesus and salvation and how it all lines up with the Old Testament scriptures. But then Paul comes to his second imprisonment in Rome, and this time he's not sure what's going to happen. In fact, we have reason to believe by what he writes in 2 Timothy that he knows his life is about to end. And in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 6 to 8, he says, "For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come. I've fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing." And what Paul is saying in the Greek, that phrase, I'm already being poured out, what he's saying is, my demise, my execution has already started to happen. It's actively happening as I'm being poured out. And the imagery there is that of in the Jewish tradition of a burned sacrifice. And what they would do is, as part of that atonement, they would pour a drink offering of wine out upon the sacrifice as it was being burned. And Paul is saying, I'm already being poured out. And then he says, the time of my departure has come. And some renditions of the Greek word departure are the picture of a ship whose anchor is being pulled up and whose ties to the dock are being loosened because that ship is being readied for its voyage and it's getting ready to move on. Can I encourage you today, all of us at different times in our lives, some of us more pronounced than others, have an encounter with our mortality. And that could be anything from a negative medical diagnosis to some type of accident. But we have occasions when we're faced with our mortality. And when we know the Lord, it should change us for the better. It should give us a longing for heaven, and that even in that journey toward our demise, we can glorify and praise God along the way, because we know that the end of this body is not the end of the journey by any means. Let's not be afraid of dying to this earthly body, but let us be confident that no matter what we face, when we know the Lord and we have a relationship with Jesus, that the death of this body is only the beginning of our real life. So live every day as if you're ready for eternity. Don't let bad news of a medical diagnosis, don't let the bad news or potential bad news of an accident that hurts your body destroy your spirit, because this is just a shell we're in, and we've got great things to look forward to. Like Paul said to the Philippians, I desire to depart because for me to be with Christ is gain. But as long as I'm alive in this body, as long as you and I are alive in these bodies, let's make it our goal and our purpose to serve the Lord fully and to be a blessing to the people around us. God bless you. Thanks for watching today. If you'd like to contact us, you can reach us at hello@soulsteps.org. Please write us with your encouraging words. If you have constructive criticism, if you have a prayer request, let us know. And as you're able, also remember us in your giving. And you can do that by visiting us at soulsteps.org. Thank you.